with the snails in a 5-star hotel, and I wish by they sell.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Carolina Panthers. With that, let's get up to
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to uptown Charlotte and rain-soaked Bank of America Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their second-year quarterback from Wyoming, Josh Allen.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. And here's the offensive unit, and we highlight a very good guy, A.J. Green.
Let's just make it simple. He's a game breaker.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. After last week's loss, you bet this offense probably wanted to come out with a little more fire than a 3-and-out.
And I'm sure that people are saying, hey, come on, Coach, what was the pregame talk? Have these guys ready to go? But you and I both know it goes into preparation and practice and being ready to go. That gives you the confidence to come out and play. They've got to find that fast.
Here come the Seahawks and their offense now under veteran head coach Pete Carroll. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he takes the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Well, look at the numbers for Parker in last week's game. 7 catches, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
Look, I know everybody wants to be number one in everything they do, but he's number 2 in the league in receiving yards. That's a strong number, a strong year, and they want that to continue.
Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Here's Carr. And this is Parker, complete.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on third down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on third downs all year long.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Right here, right here.
Carr now on first down. He gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second and 5 now. Carr, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Willie Snead hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive goes 8 plays, and the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Here's Allen. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really...
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Now he dumps this off over the middle, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Now it's Crowell, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. To throw is Carr. And this is caught. It's Parker. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1. I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Crowell. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage. And no move to pull Carr and the offense off. They're going to go on 4th down. Carr to throw for it on 4th down. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he's got this down to the 35. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down. Here's Carr to throw. Snead's got it. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Crowell. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. Give him 6 yards in the 1st down. Throwing now is Carr. It's complete to Parker, left side. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another 1st down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this 1st half. Carr now to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Gerald Everett, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Let's go.
And into the red zone now. And, Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes. Make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. Now Allen. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. A.J. Green, as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, a full half to be played. The clock showing just 16 seconds till the half as they line up 1st and 10. And he finds Parker here, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And a nice gain at 21 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
White. 734.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Flushed out right. He'll try and run it. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. 6-man.
The final shot here before half for Carr. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half. Play. 15. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going to the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Got the connection here to Bourne. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Get it, baby. Get it, baby. 56. Check 56. They can't hang with us. Watch the safety creep.
On second down, it's Jones. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, it's Jones. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
On second down, it's Jones, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Play action. Now it's Allen. He's going to air it out deep for Green, and it's knocked away and incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially in a tougher spot. You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Carr now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Carr. And over the middle, this is Parker. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks. On the ground, it's Eckler. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From midfield, here's Carr. The open man is Westbrook.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This is Crowell. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. Now Carr. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Carr completes it. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Carr now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. And he completes it to Westbrook. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another 1st down.
Hey, Haywood!
Again, it's Carr. Steps away to his left. He'll run it, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
They'll try and punch it in with Crowell. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Carr now on 3rd and goal. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. So now here's Derek Carr leading his guys up to go for 2. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
To try again after the sack. Allen, he completes it to Jones. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's Allen to throw it. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So they're going for it, and here's Allen. He's going to float this one deep right side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tramon Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. On fourth down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, fourth down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. On 2nd down and 4, Carr. He gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks. A first down carry now for Crowell. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the third time he's been off target this entire game.
And Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. And that's going to be intercepted. Landon Collins, the Pro Bowl safety. And they will set up shop at their own. Six-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that? No. Continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. To throw, it's Allen. Finding Green, complete. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Allen going to throw. He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Here's Allen. Give him 10 there. Good enough. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. J.J. Watt in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. He's got Green. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Let's go, defense.
Throwing is Allen on third. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Allen. He's going to let it fly. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Well, they had to take one final shot at the end zone, but now things are looking really bleak.
And I agree with that totally. You had to take the shot.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. To throw his Carr. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. Carr going to throw here. And this is caught. It's Parker. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. A throw left side complete to his receiver, Westbrook. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Carr now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Carr to throw again. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Carr. He'll get this to Eckler. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Now Carr. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Carr now to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So the victory here for Seattle. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Seahawks, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they lose